What if some of the best cancer advice isn't from your oncologist, but from a YouTube doctor? If you've ever searched how to beat or prevent cancer, you've likely seen Dr. Berg come up. He's a health educator who's built a massive following talking about things like how to beat insulin resistance, high blood sugar, obesity, all the things that can significantly increase our cancer risk. So as a cancer educator myself, I've watched hours of his videos, and in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to break down his most practical and powerful cancer fighting tips so you can start using them today. Kind of like, what would Dr. Berg say if you only had 8 minutes to ask him about cancer prevention? And if you're a cancer survivor, this might be the most important video you can watch today. So when it comes down to it, most of Dr. Berg's advice around cancer is based around one thing: changing your metabolic environment. But what does that even mean? Well, we know that cancer cells thrive under certain conditions: high blood sugar, high insulin, chronic inflammation, and toxic overload in your body's detox systems. So his approach to preventing or beating cancer is to build an environment in your body where cancer cells can't survive as easily. It's like getting to the root cause of the problem and stacking the odds in your favor metabolically. So to do this, the first thing he recommends is to cut out sugar. While sugar doesn't directly cause cancer, eating too much of it creates an environment in your body that cancer cells love. Dr. Berg is actually very bold and clear about how sugar breeds cancer, and he bases this on something called the Berg effect. Unlike normal healthy cells, most types of cancer cells rely heavily on sugar or glucose for energy. They get way less energy from protein and even less from fats. Not only that, eating too much sugar leads to things like diabetes and insulin resistance, which again increase our risk of getting cancer. At the moment, 1 in 3 adults in the US are insulin resistant. Most don't even know it, and most don't even realize how dangerous it can be. This is when your cells stop responding to insulin, so your pancreas pumps out more of it into your blood. Dr. Berg calls chronically high insulin the perfect storm in your body. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is insulin resistance is reversible, and the best way to reverse it is to cut back on the amount of sugar you eat. The bad news is it's not just about skipping dessert. It's also about becoming more aware of the hidden sugars in things like ketchup and salad dressing. And it also means cutting back on refined carbs like white bread and white pasta. Unfortunately, our body breaks these down into glucose almost as fast as it does pure sugar. So when we eat pizza or a big plate of pasta, our blood sugar spikes and our insulin goes up too. Now, according to Dr. Berg, once you've cut back on eating sugar and refined carbs, the next step is to change what you eat and when. He swears by the powerful combination of a low-carb diet and intermittent fasting for cancer prevention. I know that might sound like a lot to tackle, so let's break it down. When you start eating very little carbs and eat more protein and healthy fats instead, your body starts burning more fat instead of glucose for energy. It's a process called ketosis. Basically, ketosis starts when your body runs out of its stored glucose reserves, so it has to turn to fat for fuel instead. And when this happens, your liver starts to create something called ketones for you to use as energy. Now, your healthy cells are flexible. They can use ketones for energy just fine. But most cancer cells are a lot more picky. They can't survive nearly as well on ketones as they can on glucose. So when you lower the amount of glucose in your body and get into a state of ketosis, most cancer cells will start to starve. They get weaker, slower, and less aggressive. So to actually get into a state of ketosis, Dr. Berg recommends combining the low-carb, high-fat diet with intermittent fasting. This can mean fasting anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day, or doing alternate day fasts, or doing longer fasts of say 36 to 72 hours once or twice a week. I know that might sound crazy at first, so if you're just getting started with intermittent fasting, what I find easiest is to really just start slow, skip breakfast, and try to do a 14-hour fast. And once you're used to that, you can experiment with longer fasts and just try to have your meals within a shorter time window, like say noon to 6 p.m. So why is this so powerful? Well, when you're fasting, your insulin levels drop, inflammation goes down, and your body gets a break from having to digest food. Digestion takes up a ton of energy. So when you're not eating, your body refocuses that energy on repairing itself and getting rid of any damaged cells like precancerous cells before they become cancer. It's an amazing process your body does naturally, and it's called autophagy, but it really ramps up when you're fasting. Dr. Berg often talks about how fasting is the best way to enhance autophagy, but honestly, it's not the only way. I have another video on other things you can do to activate it without fasting, because fasting's not for everyone, especially extended ones of 24 hours or more. They may not be safe for you, especially if you're currently going through cancer treatment or taking certain medications. Okay, so if you're doing intermittent fasting, you're cutting back on sugar and refined carbs, what can you eat? Or I should say, what are the most important things to eat to keep cancer away? Well, Dr. Berg is really big on cruciferous vegetables, and for good reason. We're talking broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts. They're basically metabolic healers. First off, they're loaded with antioxidants. Every day, our cells are bombarded with oxidative stress from pollution, bad things we eat, and even the chemicals we put on our skin. And eating foods that are high in antioxidants is one of the best ways to combat this oxidative stress and prevent cancer. Now, the best thing about cruciferous vegetables is their unique compounds like sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol. They do two critical things. Number one, they help to detox your liver. Your liver's main job is to clear out waste and toxins from your body. But when it's exposed to too many harmful toxins, it gets overwhelmed and these toxins start to build up in your body. So cruciferous vegetables kind of help to unclog your liver, so to speak, because they enhance something called phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. The second incredible thing they do is they help to balance your hormones like estrogen. Your body needs estrogen, but too much of it can be a problem. When estrogen builds up or it isn't broken down properly, it can fuel hormone-sensitive cancers like breast or prostate cancer. So what cruciferous veggies do is they help your liver to process and eliminate excess estrogen safely before it can do any harm. So if you're someone who deals with estrogen dominance, or if you're recovering from a hormone-related cancer, this is a natural way to support your hormone balance and lower your cancer risk. Now you may be wondering, what does my liver even have to do with getting cancer? Well, if your liver gets sluggish or overwhelmed, whether it's from a poor diet of processed foods, alcohol, or even chronic stress, it can't remove toxins as well from your body, so they start to build up. And it's those lingering toxins that can really damage your DNA over time. And that's one of the first steps towards cancer. But aside from cruciferous veggies, Dr. Berg has also recommended a few simple things to keep your liver healthy. Number 1, milk thistle. It's an herb that helps to protect your liver cells from damage, and it's also been shown to lower inflammation in the body. Number 2, apple cider vinegar. Just a tablespoon a day in a glass of water can help to improve your bile flow, which is how your liver gets rid of waste. And number 3, lemon water. It's high in vitamin C and antioxidants that support detox pathways and encourage your liver to flush out toxins more efficiently. These are small things you can do to make a big difference in your health. Another powerful thing you can start doing if you really want to lower the amount of inflammation in your body, big time, is to cut out seed oils. Dr. Berg often talks about ditching seed oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil, for example. They're ultra-processed and high in omega-6 fatty acids, which fuels inflammation. Lowering the amount of inflammation in your body is one of the best things you can do for cancer prevention. So instead of seed oils, stick with avocado or olive oil instead. And finally, this might be Dr. Berg's most important piece of cancer advice yet. Get your vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin D plays a huge role in cancer prevention. But vitamin D is also really important for your bones and your immune system. It actually helps your body with autophagy, where it scans for abnormal cells and destroys them before they become dangerous. Now here's the thing. Most people are deficient in vitamin D. And when your vitamin D levels get too low, your immune system gets weaker and inflammation levels go up. So it's no surprise that low vitamin D levels are linked to higher cancer risk. So I highly recommend taking a vitamin D3 supplement because D3 is the most absorbable form. And Dr. Berg recommends pairing it with vitamin K2. This helps to direct calcium into your bones and away from your soft tissues like your arteries. So this is another example of something simple yet powerful you can do for cancer prevention. Now, will doing all of these things guarantee you'll never get cancer? Unfortunately not, but can they significantly lower your cancer risk? Absolutely. And if you're over 40, you'll want to check out this video next to learn more things you can start doing to lower your cancer risk.